Good day, everyone. I am Lei Ortega, a grade 11 senior high school student from Batch Reyesiano. The exploration of my thesis retraces the culture and traditions I was exposed to growing up in the province of Bulacan. The culmination of stories and experiences I have encountered led me to examine how the province of heroes came to be. Tracing back to Bulakenyo heroes' revolutionary legacies through its manifestations into other forms of cultural customs within the province. This research attempts to once gather the collective memory of what it truly means to be called a Bulakenyo. Thus, the research topic of recollecting, reminiscing, and retrieving contemporary Bulakenyo memories of historical resistance, colonial development, and succession. Through my research objectives, it aims to first analyze the colonial period of Bulacan through its progression and involvement in history as an integral part of Bulacan's heritage. Second, to gather the significance of Bulacan's revolutionary archives and traces of resistance as memoirs of unification. And lastly, to examine contemporary Bulacanos cultural customs and identifying traits along with discerning the extent of collective memory. References and literature, otherwise known as or called as directed research. The analysis of Bulacan's colonial progression towards the province development is an essential element into the transition of revolutionary history. Revolutionary history pertains to analyzing the major contributions of the Bulakenyo resistance, mainly focusing on three major aspects: revolution that started from language, the origination of revolutionary ideology, and the practicality or the promulgation of the First Republic. Bulacan Stories of Cultural Customs focuses on examining traditions that resides within the Bulakenyo psyche, through the concept of food gatherings, social activities, and the other forms of resistance. Aiming to translate the directed research into visual forms, the concept of the precision narrative as it is integrated within Bulacan's religious practices, funerals, and celebration, it is a study of how the sequential form can be deconstructed, otherwise revealing the Bulakenyo resistant nature. Moving forwards into the studio process, setting a creative direction into the translation of visual forms. I took inspiration on the pabalat, or the art of pastillas paper cutting, as a visual reference of storytelling, as well as gathering multiple cultural icons within the province and utilizing the practice of materials and techniques to be used as potential thesis work studies. The application of visual journal serves as a reference into the observation of the Bulakenyo life and environment. Principles like gestalt proximity, synergy, and the use of panoptic narrative are the major principles that help me shape and set a direction for my desired storytelling format. The studies I've made revolves around the principle of panoptic narrative, which observes the concept of seeing multiple occurring elements into one interacting scenery, thus the idea of gestalt theory. The whole is greater than the sum of its individual parts. Concluding with my research direction, tracing back the colonial progression and revolutionary legacy of Bulacan becomes the vital element into building the collective memory and identity to one's origin. The gathered memory now becomes a series of narrative form that exhibits both resistance, conflict, and celebration through the deconstruction of the sequential pattern. It leans to depict various sides of Bulakenyo folk stories into a panoptic view of elements and scenarios that make up a bigger picture, thus revealing the quintessential Bulakenyo. Once again, I am Lei Ortega, and thank you for listening to my presentation.